Olemanuel King Selassie Ja, King Rastafari I, SI. My name is Chiefofstars Negusto, also known as Fire Ranking. I'm a reggae and African jazz artist, creative, politician, visionary, and most importantly, a father. I do music that is inspired by a lot of active musicians. By active, I mean musicians who are like super into creative stuff, arts in all aspects, visual arts, all kinds of art. I'm also an artist that is inspired by African liberation and African spirituality. I'm also an artist that is inspired by love and different types of religious walks. And my music is mainly focused on spiritual growth, entrepreneurship, familyhood, parenthood, fatherhood, and it's also political in a sense of we're trying to, or I'm trying to come up with the type of music that inspires young people to go out there and fight for their voices to be heard. I'm making music that speaks to young people, old people, in between people. Because the music that we're coming up with is heavily inspired by artists like Fela Kuti, heavily inspired by artists like Bob Marley, heavily inspired by artists like Corbett Mukwebo, heavily inspired by artists like Kakati, heavily inspired by artists like Peter Tosh, Chronix, heavily inspired by artists like Sizzla Kalonji, Capleton, Israel Vibration, Culture, Black Uhuru, Lucky Dube, Brenda Fassie, Miriam Makeba, Tandiswa Mazwai, Busim Klongo. I'm just trying to paint you guys a picture of the type of music that has influenced my type of music, the music that I'm coming up with, the music that I'm presenting to you guys, the music that me and a super producer of mine called Ganja God Kush coming up with. Because it's a different sound and it's a different setting, being honest. It's something that people haven't heard before. It's something that people should expect inspirational talk. People should expect being reminded of who they are or reminded of where they're supposed to be headed because already we know where we're coming from. So Chiefofstars Negusto is an artist that is coming with different vibe, different genre, different feeling and vibe, different atmosphere, different teaching. And above all that, before I go even deeper to what I'm talking about, as I've mentioned, the super producer of mine called Ganja God Kush is not only a producer, he's also a fashion designer. He got me into tapping back into believing in myself again. Because I've been making music with a lot of people which I've stopped making music with, and it kind of set me back because I was in active. Active, I'm talking about being studio active. So Ganja God Coach GGK 425 got me back into action and really told me to stop sleeping and wake up and we should do this in full effect because we young, we black, and we gifted. So Chief of Stars is, apart from being a musician, because as I've said, I'm professionally known as Chiefofstars Negusto, a reggae and African jazz artist, creative, politician, visionary, and above all, a father. So above from or apart from being a musician, I'm also a super talented creative. By creative, I mean I can create a fashion piece, clothes, can design clothes from scratch. I can direct a video, I can direct a photo series, I can direct a documentary, I can direct a short film. Some of the works or the work that I've done is with the late RIP Romeo Maboko. You can check him on YouTube. Romeo Maboko is a super dope director. I've done some beautiful works with him, and believe me, when I say I'm really into this, I've been doing this from way back since '06, and now it's 2026, so it's full cycle. So I'm fully invested into using my energy into giving birth to art. Art, I mean, across all walks of art, music, fashion, film, drawing, all across all walks of art. So that's the type of vision that we're coming with as Chief of Stars, the brand, Chief of Stars, the artist, Chief of Stars, the politician, Chief of Stars, the creative, Chief of Stars, the visionary. And a lot of people get it confused because they don't really know what it means when you say, I'm a visionary. Being a visionary is someone who's able to see what is going to be the next culture, or what's going to be the next sound, or what's going to be the next trend in terms of fashion. That's what a visionary is. So we are we are visionaries. When I say we, I'm talking about Chief of Stars Negusto and the whole camp. GGK 425, Zoo Life, Magi Muse Media. So it's something that we really invested in, and we've told ourselves that we're gonna do it and we're gonna win. So, with that being said, I hope you guys go out there and check Chief of Stars Negusto, also known as the original Fire Ranking, a creative, a politician, a visionary, and most importantly, a father. So go check out the music, go check out the content, go check out the everything that we're coming up with. Yeah, man. Blessed. Rastafari. Bless.